Okay, folks, I'm going to do a little bit of a drawing on this one. Just a little bit of raw umber, and this is going to be a quick one today. A quick painting session. I'm in the mood to be going fast here. That's all. I just kind of have in the outline of a tree. I'm going to put my horizon just below the halfway mark there, and just put that across. And I want to bring my tree down a little bit, just along here-ish. And I'm using some spirits here, mineral spirits. Just filling this in. As I say, this is just a quick painting today, just more of a study. I'll use it as a study today. Just dancing this about, just wanting the ideas in front of me here. A little bit of reflection here. Now what I have done is that I have done my usual thing. Now look, on the camera, that looks uneven, looks as if it's rising up, but it's only the skewing of it. I assure you it is level. Right, and there's a few. What I've done is, what I normally do is sit and look online at the odd thing, and just sat and how do we look, and then came up with an idea of what I want. And just a few clouds just up in here, and let me see. All right then, time for painting. Time to paint. Let's get in some colors on this one. A nice darkish cloud up here. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just put in a nice orangey look first. And just cleaning off this brush. I'm unsure. I'm trying to think of a new way to clean my brushes, and I'm jumping between this and that, and it's not easy. I'm unsure which is the best way to do it for me, and I've come up with a whole lot of different methods. So I has. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can fit this in all in the one go, but I probably won't, you know. I will probably most likely let it dry. I like to let it dry. I feel like I can add a bit more detail whenever it has dried out a bit. But not all the time, you know. Sometimes you just want to get it all done in one go. Alright, now you can see a little bit of that moire effect on the camera. Yeah, it'll pass in time. Anywho, let's get working on the darker clouds here. The darker clouds, a little bit of black and some ultramarine. Now a little bit of cadmium red. I want a bit of warmth in them. So I'm going for a bit of a velvety grey cloud here. Bit of some cerulean as well. So let me see how dark this is. How warm it is too. A bit warmer than that, I think. Aye, that'll do, at least for the base of it anyway. Yeah, it's a bit saturated. It's a little bit of raw umber in it. Just take that saturation out a bit and lighten it just a touch more. Alright, Right, now just dancing this around. Now, a nice bit of a brighter look to it here and there. Just dancing it around, folks. Getting the idea that these are nice soft. It has a nice soft transition to it here and there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of blending on the canvas, just almost, well, it's not pure white because of what's on the brush, but I'm just going to blend it on the canvas here, just for now anyway. Just let that be a cloud. Just let it be a cloud. Let it be what it wants to be. Let it be what it comes off your brush as. Okay, let's soften it up a little bit. Oh, just taking the edges off them, folks, barely touching the canvas. All I'm doing is taking that edge off, just softening that up a touch. Right, now that moire effect is quite strong today for some reason. I think I'm going to lighten this up a little bit just for the time being. Oh wow, that's quite something. I wonder what is causing that today. It is what it is. This will only last for a short period anyway, so. Right, now let me see. Give me a nice little flat brush. There we go. A bit of a bluish tint to this one, but mostly white. A little bit of a grey in it, but mostly white. But starry skies above, don't fence me in. Okay. A tiny bit more blue. I just want you to kind of see the blue and no more. Staying away from all those clouds just for the moment. I'll get back into it in a wee second whenever I'm just coming into it, which is going to be around about now. Moving into it. Just dancing that around, softening those edges. Ah, okay. Not so bad. Right, okay. I don't know about this moire effect. Annoying me. But it is there. Again, a gentle softness, folks. A gentle strokes. Lovely. Just playing, folks. Just playing with what I have here. All right. Let me get some things out here. All right, now, let me see. Let's get some green going here. A nice dark, warm green. So it's phthalo and some oxide red. This should give me a nice, really dark green. I'm going to just add a tiniest bit of black to it. I just want it quite dark for in the corner here. And off in the distance too. I could do with a bigger brush on this one, but hey ho, I'll just scrape this on, leave a little bit of that texture behind. That's all. Nice, nice. There's a little bit of texture left behind in that. Now, pretty much the same again, only this time a little bit cooler. Just a little bit of oxide red and this time a little bit of cerulean. Just to cool this because it's slightly further back. Just slightly. There we go. Very nice. Dancing that about. Just creating those edges. Bumpity boop boop boom. Babbity boop boop boom. Bumpity boop boop boom bum boom. Lovely, lovely. Nice and dark, folks. Nice dark sunset here. In the clouds. Now, off in the distance here. On a good dark. Now, normally as you go further away, the warmth is taken out of it, but we have a sunset here and the sun's directly behind this hedgerow here, so it's going to be a bit warm, or at least I'm going to make it a bit warm. I want a bit of heat hit the background here, which is different from the rules of it all, but then this is why we're called artists. We want things to be, I want things to be my way. I want it to look my way. Not the way it's meant to look, the way I want it to look. I kind of hope you take that away yourself as an idea that it doesn't always have to follow everything that you see. And just keeping a nice wee jaggedy edge along there. Look at that, that's not so bad already. Right, I'm going to have a chat with somebody. Give me a second here. I'm going to see what I can do about this moire effect. I don't like it. Right, I just saw that the actual effect itself isn't actually happening in the recording, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's good actually. Right, so as I say, it's not happening in the recording, and because of that, I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to leave it be. Now, give me a nice little flat brush here. Now, I'm using some phthalo here. It has a good coolness about it. Now, in doing so, it allows me to add some, add my own heat to it and control it that way. So let me see. Now, I've gone in the wrong place there. So let me just counter that down here. That's some reflections. It's supposed to be. So there you go. Right, now, back to this again. Little bit of phthalo, little bit of blue, tiny bit of yellow, little bit of raw umber, just to give me a nice saturated green of which I can mess around with. There we go. I will in a momento I will be adding things to this. Just showing some caution here at the base of these trees over here. Just blending it in a little bit. It looks nice. So it does, so it does. Okay. A little bit of an orangey look to this here. Just to get some light going on in here. Look at that. Ah, look at that. Isn't that nice? Ah, maybe a tiniest bit brighter. Just the tiniest bits of brighter. Oh, we'll go. Not everywhere, just here and there. You don't want to spoil it by over highlighting it. Now, up in the background here, let's see. Now I want a little bit of this color here in this. So you see me on the palette working on it. And just, it's coming off very grey rather than, so a little bit of oxide red in it. It was coming off a bit too grey there for me. So I was just knocking a little bit off it there with the oxide red. Now just bring that down and blend it into this area down in here. It'll look as if it's all part of the same field. Very nice, even if I say so myself. Right, so nice darky green. Give me a bit of phthalo, some blue, a little bit of black this time. Yeah. Oh, too much yellow. A little bit of liquid, just to get things moving around here. And just patting that on. As I come down further, I'll be adding in some reflections a little bit down in here. But it's going to be so dark down in here, you're not going to really see it. But I'll add maybe a little bit of water things in it. What do you call it? A little bit of water waves and stuff, just to give the idea that it's there. That's nice. That's going well. Keeping it all nice and rough, folks. Nice and rough. There we go. All right, now I have an option to pull out the trees here. Do I wait to paint them in, or do I pull them out from the board? I think I'm going to pull them out from the board and then paint them. Let me see. Now what I need is a little, but one of those little rubber pens. I'm going to have to go and have a look for this, so I'll be back whenever I find it. Stone. I found it. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, just pulling these trees out. And over here, just little ideas of them, you know, just over there. But first, let's get the water in. While I still have this on my palette. Let's get this water in. A little bit brighter. Okay. Very nice. And then as I'm moving down a little bit, it's going to be a little bit grayer because of the clouds. And I'm just going to dance these about to create that nice soft edge here. Probably a bit darker. Okay. Let's soften that in a secondo. So I will. I am after a bit of a have a bluer look to this one, because we're in the water. I may as well make the water look blue. Right down in here. Tiny bit of liquid in there just to help the viscosity of it a little touch. All right. Now, that's what I am after for the memento. But what I need... Oh, drop the wee cloth here, folks. Right, what I need to do is soften these edges. Just stippling this, folks. Creating that lovely, lovely, lovely soft edge. Bringing it down, just blending the whole thing together. And then I'm barely, at this, right now I'm barely touching this canvas. But it still does create an effect. Oh, too much of an effect there. There we go. Alright, good start, I say. Even if I say so myself. Right, yeah, I have found a way of cleaning my brushes, and I must admit I'm not happy with it. So I'm not. It's not working for me. Yeah. A waste of money is this one, anyway. So here we go. A little bit of a yellow. And it's going to be an on canvas blend here, and I'm just going to see if this works or not. I just want to slightly recolor this, a certain area of this. Not so bad, you know. That's looking okay, I think. A little bit along the top. I think I maybe just blend the rest of it in. Aye, I think I'm just... Okay, alright. Better than what I thought it was going to be. Just the same along here now. Just a few dibs and dabs, just creating that cloud, the light breaking through the cloud look. That's what I'm after up here. Alright. Okay, that turned out a bit better than I thought it was going to. So I'm going to, let me see, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to edge the edge of the embankment here just a little bit, folks. Just a little bit. A bit of a darker edge here. Now, it's a bit too dark, so I'm going to be blending a lot of this in. Just in and around the edges, just dabbing that in, creating a bit of a taller embankment in the process. Very good. Very good. You know what? I think I might leave that until I'm ready to. I think I'm going to lighten this area a bit here before I make any drastic decisions. Okay, let me just mess around here and see what I have. Alright. Bit better, I think. At least to my eye, it's a bit better. Same here. Again, at least to my eye, it's a bit better. Right, okay, I think. I'm just going to mess around with some skylights in the trees here. This is the beauty of putting down, oops. This is the beauty of putting down a background painting, you know, what do you call that colour? The yellow ochreish colour that I had down, just with acrylics. That's the beauty about putting it down. I can stick in, if you're doing a nice orange sky, I can stick in sky holes without having to worry too much about them. Okay. I think all this needed to do is for me to wait, and then I think maybe I'll put the white in of this for now, and it'll be dry by the time I get back to do the it'll be dry to put in the darker parts of that bark. Right, so ba-ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum. Birch trees, folks. As you can see on the palette, they're not white. They're very far from white. They just look white because of the contrast around them. That's all. So bear that in mind. The contrast of its surroundings changes the tone and the colours. You ever see those wee illusions on a checkered board, where it looks like it's a different type of grey, but then whenever they draw everything together, it's the same, exactly the same tone. I think they're fascinating in the sense that it shows you just what our brains are capable of doing. Alright, that'll do for now. At least that'll mark them for me. It'll mark them for me, and whenever I come back. Actually, I'm going to make the water just that little tiny bit darker. I think it's a bit bright, so I do. Yeah, I think I'll get out some new ultramarine, and I'll put it on with a clean brush. Put it on with a clean brush. So yeah, it looks like I bought these wee brush cleaners that you put a lot of oil in them, and I'm not happy with them. So I think I'll probably end up binning them and going back to what I was using before, just ordinary spirits. Just blending on the canvas. Just bringing this up, knowing that it'll get lighter and lighter as I'm going up. And then I will bring it down again in a secondo, just about now. Gently softening everything. And I will use my little softening brush. So again, just keeping everything very soft, barely touching. See, if you bump, you leave a lot of marks behind. It's just work after work. You can get it done, but it can be an awful lot of hassle. You just need to touch the canvas, and it will do what you want. And this isn't a perfectly smooth gradient. It's not what I'm after. It'll make it look like there's a bit of movement in the water. Anyway, for the time being, I think that will do for now. And then I'll come back and finish it. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Alright folks, just going to get back into this one. Now I want to break into these clouds a little bit, just roughen these edges up a touch. So let's recreate. This is the following day, and the paint is almost dried. It's almost dried. Now all I want to do is to break into these clouds. So a bit of a slightly, the tone I want it to be slightly darker, just, almost exactly the same, just a touch, just half a step type of thing, you know, just to break into these clouds, create edges there, you see, yeah, you see them up here now, just dancing that around and creating rougher edges. Don't worry about it breaking out, because not all, although clouds are fluffy and what have you, they still have nice defined edges at times. Alright then, I just going to break up a few edges here, creating just a bit of life in the cloud, you know, like the light is just trying to push through, just, that's all. Little break in it here and there. Now I think I'm just going to leave that as is. I think that I'm pretty happy with this. A little bit brighter up here, maybe just a bit of a differential take here, just in here. Very good, very good. Very happy with this. Coming off rightly. I'm trying to always keep in mind to not create any, repetitiveness. Trying to keep it as abstract as my mind will let me, which isn't always possible, because the mind can be it can be a challenge at times. Now, I just create a nice brightness along the sky here. Going to be all but scumbling this on. I'll take a good bit off the brush here. And now add some more white to it, and whatever's left on the brush should colour it. You see a little bit of yellow, too much. Now taking a good bit off the brush and just dragging this through this. I wanted a bit more yellow than that. Again, removing a good bit off the brush. Just dragging that across. Just creating that light in here. Nice and broken as well. Oh, nice, very nice. Very nice, I must say. And come up in here as well, just. Now, on a nice white patch, or semi-white, off-white type of thing. Just here, so that I can reflect it in the water. That's all. And put it a little bit above it. See that? Now, I will come along and place this a bit better, or sorry, I will come along and lighten it a bit better. I'm just kind of playing with it here. Getting directly beneath that. All right. Now I'm going to go for a pure white one here. Tiniest bit of liquid. I want it to be dry for tomorrow. If I wish to colorize it a little bit. There we go. And right, so now what? I'm going to work on these back trees here and just rough them up a little bit. Give them a good sand too. Rough them up a little bit, you know. That type of thing. Nice and broken edges. Lots of them. Just add a lot all over the place. Try and be random. Softening the edges too. You know, it's important because this is off in the distance. There's next to no detail over here. So you just want just the edges to be softened a touch. There we go. I'm going to lighten this area along here because the light is directly above it. So I'm going to just scumble this on. This lighter patch here. Just, let me see now. I hope this isn't too light. I'll mess around with my finger. So I will. Oh, I hope there's no innuendo on that one. I'll mess around with my finger. You know what I mean? Oh dear. Right. Okay, now I'm going to work on the edges of these trees here. And I have a couple of ways to do it. I'm going to do it this way with the brush, and then I'm going to do this one over here with a sponge, just to show you two different ways of achieving the same goal. And recently I've been using a bit of a sponge for tree edges, and I have to say I'm quite taken with how good they are. I'm going to use a little bit of phthalo here, in with the oh, that's way too much, in with the what do you call that there? Raw umber, a little bit of yellow. Now I want some heat coming through this. A little bit more, and a little bit more yellow. That's a bit better, I think so. Nice darkish green. It has a bit of a heat in it. Now, as you see, I'm just dancing this brush about, creating edges. With a nice silhouetted tone here. Just taking the edge of that. Now, there's a few more to do along here. As I say, I'm going to try this with the thing over here. With the sponge over on the other side. Just want to show you a number of ways of achieving the same goal. And as I say, I haven't used the sponge in quite a long time, but recently I've been using it just for experimental purposes, and I've been really enjoying it. I've been enjoying the look of it, the texture that it leaves behind. So there's a lesson that whatever mark you can lay down, whatever it takes to lay down that mark, don't be afraid to do it. Right, anywho's, so that's that over there. Nice edgings on that. Now I'm going to create one over here. Now, what this is one of those makeup sponges. See it there? And it's one where it has large holes in it. And I'm going to create a viscosity here that's ink-like, maybe a little bit thinner than ink. And then I'm going to create the edges of the trees. I think I'll darken this first, and I'll maybe even darken it with the sponge. I'm going to play here a wee bit, see how it turns out. Okay, so now the thing about this is it actually uses quite a lot of paint. So make sure you mix up a good amount. Now I'm coming into here, so it's going to be a bit of a darker mix here. I'm going to be in the body of the tree rather than the edge. So I want it a little bit cool. And then warming as I'm coming towards the edge. I don't think this is dark enough. I'm going to use some black and some ultramarine. And I think the viscosity is wrong. So I'm just going to thin it out a bit. Roll this around. Let me see. Now I'm just going to take my sponge. If you look at the palette, just going to take the sponge and dip it into it. And then off to the side, just dab a little bit. Just so there's not big lumps coming off. Now let me see this. Now you're not going to see this on the camera because the tone between the two is very, very similar. So what I'm going to do is I'll just carry on with this. And this also will help create the look of those trees. Right, let me see. Let me just take a moment to myself here. I want that to come out a good bit. So I'm going to green this up a little bit. little bit of more spirits in it here, just to get this viscosity a little bit thinner. Okay, now I'm going to start working close to the edge and then work out towards where I want it to eventually end up. So in close to the edge, I'll try and remove my hand here. In close to the edge, now look at the texture that leaves behind. It's absolutely gorgeous, actually. I think so. Lovely. And I want it nice and dense in this area here, closer to the edge, and then loosening as I'm moving further away. So let me see here. I hope my big arm isn't in the way. Now, you might think that this is a lazy way to do it, but I promise you it's a wonderful way to do it if you get these a little bit darker in some areas. If you get these sponges, wonderful. Now I'm going to come in with a slightly lighter tone here, just and slightly warmer because the light is shining through it. A little bit, just taking a good bit off the brush here. Now right at the edge here. A bit lighter than that as well. Very good, very nice. Very happy with my rediscovery of this. I used to use them years ago, so I did. And I just got out of the way of using it. And I just genuinely, now coming back to it, I genuinely think they're a wonderful way to create the edges in a tree. Now, so as not to, I'm going to now create some light through the tree. Not much though, because there's a big dark cloud going along it there, and I don't want much light coming through. Let me just see this. Oh, too much. Wrong. Okay. All right. That's nice. That's coming out. It came out rightly. Okay. Right. Now, just going to leave that for the time being. And I think I'm getting there with this, you know. It's not too far from being done. So it isn't. Let me see, I just want to come out into the water here a bit. Just to create a little movement in it, you know, a little bit of a... So it's not all the same. All right. Nice and rough, folks. Just keeping that nice and rough, just so there's more of a texture in the whole thing. Now, I want to move down to this area here. Just create the edges of these trees. Just dancing that around, folks, making that look like a bit of a reflection off in the distance. Very nice. I like to dance the brush around a bit. Really helps me try my best to keep a bit of abstraction in it. I'm gonna break some trees up here. Just create a little bit of as if there's some breakage in the base of these trees. That's all, just as if we can see through them a little bit over here too. Keeping it close to the tree trunks, because the tree trunks are not very, the area surrounding them are not always very dense. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scumble on a little bit of highlight. As I say, my intention for this one was a nice quick one. Just going to scumble on a little bit of a highlight here. You see that? Barely noticeable. Barely noticeable, but still there nonetheless. Adds that extra interest to it. A little bit more. And that allows the light to shine through. I'm actually going to darken this area a little bit, just to get that contrast. Alright, so a little bit of black and a little bit of phthalo, a little bit more black and a little bit of blue, just as a barely, very thin mix, and just slightly darkening this down. That'll help this contrast a little bit better. Look at that. Now that really begins to make that shine. So there's a lot of light coming through now. And how a man more almighty. Here, dear, here. Don't like this. Let me just pull that off. Now, all I want to do is put in a few little water things. Now, this here brush was done by accident. This here, very, very hard. It dried on me, but it dried with a very sharp edge in it. So I'm just going to be using it to lay down my water ripples. As I say, just done by accident. Nothing much you can do about it. But it does leave a nice little ripple. It does. Almost there, folks. I think I'm going to be calling this one a day. I just want to make this water a little bit a little bit more rough, just to create the sense of some movement. There we go. That's not so bad now. Now, I think I'm done. I'm having a wee look at the birch trees. They seem okay. These ones over here I'm not too happy about. So I'm going to make myself happy about them. So I think they're just too, I think it might be a bit too thick. I'm going to have a wee look for a brush here. I'm going to darken that down a touch. Give me a second. A secondo. Just to darken this down. I'm just not very keen on these. Alright, now. And I don't want too much. I really don't want too much here. Let me just see now. This is a what are they called? They're a Da Vinci Junior Synthetics, size number 1. It's brand new, so it has a nice point on it. Now, is that too bright? I think it might be a bit too bright. So I'll just darken it a little bit. And hopefully I don't thicken it in the process. There we go. Another one here. Another wee one down here. Just don't overdo it. There we go. Off in the distance. Very nice. I'm just going to knock that one back a touch. A little bit of kitchen towel. I'll just knock that one out a little bit. And I think that's it. I'm happy with that one. So, if you would, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. So, as they say, bye for now.